Hello everyone. We're going to set up the books for the maths that we are doing. So the first thing we are doing is writing the date, okay, or the day, sorry. So you start. Now if you look on the page, you'll see blue lines, and you'll also see a red or pinkish looking line. No, I'll say red. A red line at the side. There's one here. Okay. There's just one red line. This red line here is called the margin. Okay? And we always start writing right after the margin on the inside. We do not start writing there. This is the margin, this is the page. It starts here. And there's the margin, and then after you reach the margin, you go a little inside and you start to write. Okay? So no one is to be writing out here. So of course you'll leave a little space on the margin, and let's start. Today we're writing again. Every day you will be writing today. When you come to school, by the grace of God, when school reopens, this is something you will be doing, okay? So we start at the top line. We're going to make the letter T. It's a tall letter. Start at the top line, go down, straight down to touch the bottom line, and then across. That's how you make a capital T. Mine's not perfect, but we will practice. Okay, the O is a short letter. Again, short letters start a little beneath halfway mark between these two lines. Okay, so you start the O, puck, you put your little dot there, you go back a little bit, around, in, and straight up to close that in without lifting the pencil. D has a short part, right? That's wrong like that O. So let's start at the height of the O to make that part of the D. Around, in, up, and down. Now you see this A that we're making here. I want to show you something, and I want you to try doing that, okay? To make the A, you put a little dot there. It's the same height as the short part of the D and the O. It's a short letter. And you go back first. You go back a little bit, and you start to go around and down. You go in, up without lifting your finger, and then down. Sometimes, oh boy, I made a mistake there. Sometimes children do this, right? And I know you're now starting, and it may be a bit difficult for you to continue going up like this and down. That didn't close in there, right? So sometimes, it may be a little easier for you. You do this and then you do that. But then it looks a little, So let us practice. I went a little too low there on this A, so that's really not supposed to be there. Right. And now the Y has a short part on top there. It starts at the height of the other short letters. Go down, in to touch the line, up, down and in. That's the word today. We're going to write another word. We leave a little space. This word has short letters only. Today is, I-S is. Start down here. You're not starting quite up there, and it has to be the same height. The I you're going to make has to be the same height as the other short letters. So you're starting at the height of the other short letters to get uniformity. It just looks better when you do that, right? Now to make the S, you're starting as if you're going to make a C. Go back a little bit. Now, but the difference is when you go back and you start going around, you do not go straight down to the bottom line, right? Before you start to go in. Here, we're going halfway in, and then we come back out in a curve, and we go back like this to get the S, right? Today is Monday. Monday, M is a tall letter. So we're starting from the top here and leave a little space after this word. Go down, don't lift your hand, up on the same line, down, up on the same line, and down. Oops, I was a little too slanted there. Anyhow, now, sometimes when people making it, when your fingers and your hand get stronger, these are things you might do until that happens, right? And I understand, but I'm just going to show you anyway, right? You go down, up on the same line, down, up on the same line, and down. Now, sometimes people do this. They go down, then they go up, then they go down, do something like that. And that is not an M. That's a totally different letter there, right? Or sometimes they do, what do they do sometimes? I can't think of it right now. So let's go here. When it comes back to my mind, I'm going to show you if it comes back. Right, so this is another short letter here around the O. We made an O already, so I'm not going to take too much time on that. Short letter N, down, up, around, and down. Now, this is what I could do. Sometimes when people are making the N, you know what they do? They come down, they go up, around. Right, that is the correct way. But sometimes they do this, and then they come back so, and leave a big space in the middle there. We don't want that. You go down, all it, not looking down, up on the same line, around and down. Let me do that again. Up, around and down. N, that looks better. Okay, the D, the short part of the D, I'm going to make it same height as the N, around, in, up to touch the line and down. And A, same height as the wrong part of the D, around. I went a little too high there, sorry about that. It's kind of hard to manage it when I am holding the camera in my hand at the same time. Down, in, up and down, right? So now we're going to write mathematics, a big intimidating letter, but it's just the letter M. And once you know what you have to do, it shouldn't be that difficult. You come top line to the bottom, down, up on the same line. I'm looking through the camera as I'm doing this, so down. Okay, let me look at it. Up and down. Notice I didn't raise my hand off the page at all when I'm doing this. Around, this is the A. T, tall letter, line to line, just come straight down. And this part goes across at the height of the short letter H, down, line to line, up to the height of the A and the cross on that T there, around and down. E. Now this is a tricky letter. You might be tempted to start, this is a short letter, you might be tempted to start making it at the height of the H, that wrong part of the H. But if you do that, what happens is it goes way above and it gets higher. So to prevent that, you start in the middle of the short letter that comes before it, and then you go up to the height of that short letter, you go back around and in, right? This is something you'll have to practice. Down, up, around, and down, down, up, around, and down, around. Tall letter T, from top line to bottom line. I is short, around, right? So you'll be practicing, well, these letters. Now today we are learning about the number 6. We did 1 to 5 and we're doing 6. I know you have your workbook, but just to put something in the copybooks, right? So this is what I want you to do. You're going to write 6. You can start writing it here or you can write it down here. This is a capital S. As I showed you before, when you're making the S, it's tall, right? When you're making an S, it starts, you go back a little bit as though you're making a C, you go round. Now, normally you'll go down and then start a curving down to touch a line, but with an S, halfway, you start to go in halfway, and then you come out and you curve and you go back this way to touch the line, right? So 6. This is a short letter here, X, slanted line down, and this is how we make the 6. Now in your book, in your workbook, you're going to trace your X's in there, right? 6. Okay? And now I'm going to draw 6. Maybe I could draw 6 flowers, right? And you could do that. 6 flowers. 1. Oh, I'm not much of an artist. I wish I were. 2. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 flowers. This is the numeral 6. This is how much 6 is, and this is how you spell the word 6. So let's read that. Today is Monday, mathematics 6, and there are 6 flowers. Now, what I have forgotten to tell you, this is something I don't know why I forget. In the first line, we could also start practice writing our names, right? So in this first line here, where I went ahead and did today's Monday, you can use these first lines to write your name. Every day writing your name, so you learn to write your name, right? And then on the next line, you write today is Monday, mathematics. I hope to remember to do that the next time. Okay, so this is what you're going to do in your books, and then I'll also give you some work to do in your workbook, your mathematics Papa Maki. Okay, bye-bye.